I completely apologize for all of the giant mess. If you have questions and stuff, you can just pop them in the comments. I just want to make sure that people are able to see the message I had and then be able to pop on. So, okay. So, all right. Enough of Facebook, enough of Instagram, like messing up. Thank you for following me and trying to figure me out, but I'm in the, okay, sounds good. Okay, so what I wanted to do, I went through and I noticed that like it was kind of a tie almost between having a system that like really works to get you to do like those income producing activities, and then also like organizing your team and like push pods and getting your recruits to actually do the things that they need to do to move their business forward. So that being said, I'm going to hit on having a system when you're working and doing those income producing activities. And then the next time I go live, I will share more about like organizing your team, organizing those push pods, organizing everything, and getting your recruits to basically like do their shit. Because I feel like you have to know a good system first. You have to have things down pack before you can like preach to other people. You have to have like your life all figured out basically before you can like go and like try to help other people get their lives figured out. So, all right. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just get started. I know people are going to probably pop on and whatnot, and that's totally fine. If you have questions, throw them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of go through what I have. And then if you guys have questions that are on here, I will stay on here and answer them because I'm a teacher and I freaking love questions. And then I will get the recording up for those of you who are watching. So, first things first, in order to have a system when you're working your business to produce the income you're looking for, you have to know what's important in your business that you need to do every single day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge you to list out 5 to 10 like huge bullet points that you need to do every single day in your business for you to have success. So you can say to yourself, I did X, Y, and Z today. I know I did my business. I know I did the things that I need to do to move my business forward. I want you to make a list of 10 things that's going to move your business forward. So like those income producing activities. So I'm going to give you my list of 10. I'm going to talk you through like the things that I do for those 10 things. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's not an income producing activity. Believe it or not, there's actually things that do not move your business forward that you do every single day and spend your time doing that's not going to produce and like show up in your paycheck. And then I'm going to kind of help you with like setting up a system to get your business going and like what to do when you sit down. So, first things first, number 1 on my list, you guys, is posting on social media. If you are not posting on social media, like today aside, because social media sucks today, but if you are not posting on social media, girl, what are you doing? You are not going to be able to move your business forward. People don't know what you're doing. People have no freaking idea. If you never post on social media, like how do you expect people to build trust with you? How do you expect people to understand, like what it is that you're actually doing? And when you invite them, like they're gonna be like, girl, what the hell are you talking about? Like I have no idea what you're saying. And so for me, the number 1 thing, you guys, is posting on social media. I literally tell my recruits, if you do anything today, post on social media at least twice. I tell them you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're not posting on social media. I don't care if you're scared. I don't care if you're worried about what other people are going to say. I don't care if you don't have the perfect picture. I don't care if you don't have the perfect wording. All of this stuff, just get it up. Get it up, get it out there, let people see you. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. People always say to me, how are you so good with wording? How are you so good with what to say and what pictures to do and everything else? And I'm like, it's just because I've been doing it over and over and over and over again, and it just happens. Josh always talks about this like light that turns on. And honestly, it came from posting several times. It came from posting, trying to figure out me and my voice and just sharing that with everybody. And that's honestly, you guys, like where it came from. So the first thing that I do and the first thing that's on my list when I sit down and work my business is I say, did I post on social media today at least 2 times? Normally I post in the morning and then sometimes at night, just depending on when my market is on social media. So when you're posting, obviously you have to have some sort of end in mind. It's not just like grabbing a picture of your dog and throwing it up on social media. So the things that are going to move your business forward, obviously posting, getting yourself out there, getting your story out there, and letting people understand your journey, your struggles, what you've been going through, what you have to offer them, and how you're able to help them. Okay, so that's kind of my first thing that is super important to move my business forward. And since day one of doing this entire opportunity and starting 3.5 years ago, I have not missed one day of posting on social media. And I think that seriously has such a game changer for me. And it's been a game changer for my business because that's just not something I worry about doing. And you know, it's marketed me, it's built my, you know, my brand, it's got me out there. And so that's definitely something that I, you know, would encourage you to do first and foremost. Second thing, make sure I am going live and sharing on my Instagram stories. So I want people to go to my Instagram stories and I want them to see my life. I want them to see the reality TV show of Megan Geeks. Like I want them to see me wake up super groggy and like a zombie, have my juice, be super excited, get my workout in, like share everything with people, and just talk them through my day, like what it is that I'm actually doing, like when I work my business, how I make this work, how I get my recruits, how I find clients, you know, how I make it work through the cracks of the day, how I still live my freaking life, but I'm doing what I love doing. Okay, so Instagram stories is huge. And guess what? Every single time that you post on Instagram stories, except for today, save the freaking video and go put it on your Snapchat. That's 2 different places that you have your story and your reality TV show that people can go and see. And if you want, go put it on your Facebook stories. Like you have it everywhere. I always love when people message me, you know, and they say things like, did you move? Or did you cut your hair? Or like, did you paint your office or whatever? Because they know because they've been watching you for so many times. And so just make sure that you are sharing the real and the raw on your Instagram stories. Like, sure, your Instagram page might be like a magazine. You want people to stop. You want them to read your stuff. But your Instagram stories better be like real and raw of your story, like your reality TV show. So please, please, please make sure you're taking the time and the effort to go through there. Third thing for me is to invite my people to join my tribe, to find my recruits, to find people who want to work this business with me. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if I'm sharing on social media, if I'm posting, if I am doing stories, if I'm sharing my reality of my life, and saying, here's how I do it. Here's what I do. Are you ready to come and do this with me? And so I feel like number 1 and number 2 have to happen in order for number 3 to happen, and also number 4. And number 4 is inviting clients to join you with whatever business that you have. So for me, obviously I work with health and fitness. And so for me to get clients, they need to see that I actually work out. They need to see what I eat. They need to see that I have struggles. They need to see results. They need to see my journey. They need to see what I do every single day. Not just a transformation, but like how I got from day 1 to day 21. And so that's my number 4 is inviting my, like the clients, like inviting clients to join up with me and my team. Okay. So those first 4 things are really like intertwined with each other. If I'm not doing those things, I'm sorry, my dog is barking and he just won't go outside. If those 4 things do not help you move your business forward, you're doing things wrong. Like they are intertwined and they just basically like lead to success. Okay. So those 4 things. The 5th thing for me is following up with people. So you did 1 through 4. You posted on social media. You shared your reality TV show. You were recruited. You're trying to recruit people to work this business. You're trying to, you know, find clients to work with you. And you have to follow up with them. If they say no to you, awesome. Put them on a freaking list and message them again. You have to be doing these things. This is what's going to move your business forward, is following up with people. I don't care if you're worried about being annoying or bugging people or always messaging them. Like, I don't care. People have to see something,
times before they actually like register in their brain that they want to freaking do it. I have people I talk to for years before they join up with me, because I have to get into their head. They have to see it. They have to hear it, believe it, create that, that trust, see my journey on social media, see the reality TV part of it, and then I'll be able to follow up with them. Okay. So posting on social media, getting your story out there, that reality TV show, inviting to the opportunity, inviting to your clients to join up with you. Following up with them is so huge. You have to have some sort of tracking system, to be able to not only invite, but then come back with that follow-up with them. And so that leads me to like my number 6. For me, what's super important is filling up my funnel, like having people constantly like coming in. And the way that we do that obviously is adding people on social media, following people on Instagram, liking and commenting on their stuff. Girl, where did you get that dress? Oh my God, I love your shoes. Your family is super cute. Whatever it is, it's like those connections that you have to have. Except for I don't just have them in the messenger part. I have them on social media. Like, I don't care if people see that I asked like where she got her dress. Like, cool, she's gonna comment, and then I'm gonna comment back and all that fun stuff. And then maybe I'll slip into her DM and be like, hey girl, I love your dress. Like, what size did you get? Like, asking more personal questions. So that way I'm not like a super creep in her inbox right away. Like, I'm liking, commenting on her stuff. And then I can start that connection. But you guys, you have to be filling up that funnel. You have to be talking to people every single day. The cool thing is, if you're an introvert, guess what? You're sitting behind a computer. If you're an extrovert, you're sitting behind a computer and you have access to everybody. Like, it's so awesome. So please make sure that you're filling up that funnel that you have. Make sure that you are adding people, you're commenting on stuff, you're liking on stuff, you're following people, whatever it is, just make sure you're filling that funnel. Maybe you're constantly talking about this training you have coming up. Maybe you're doing a free webinar. Maybe you have an event coming up. Whatever it is, you guys, you need to be filling that funnel constantly adding new people, constantly having new conversations with people. Number 7 and number 8 are kind of back to back. They're pretty much the same, but every single day I need to make sure that I'm touching base with my clients and I'm touching base with my recruits. Because here's the thing. One thing that I realized going through this is so many people complain that their upline or whoever has pieced out and now they have no idea what the hell they're doing. Like, well, why were you relying on them in the first place? And honestly, like, that's one of the things that has changed my business is when I first started, I was so reliant on, I don't even know if that's a word. I relied so much on my upline and what she was doing or what her upline was doing or what they were doing. And yeah, don't recreate the wheel, but at the same time, like, you don't need someone to hold your hand. You're a business owner. If you're on this call, if you're watching the replay, you guys, like, you're your own CEO of your own freaking business. I don't see the principal, like, coming back to me and asking me if you should make the calendar for next year's school year, like all that stuff. No, like, I'm a teacher. I run my own classroom. I don't go to next door and be like, what are you doing? I'm going to do the same thing you're doing. Hell no, it's my classroom. I'm going to run it the way I want to run it. So when you are doing that, 7 and 8, touching base with your recruits and touching base with your clients, like, it's huge. Because you need to be in contact with them. With my recruits, I have them in pods. I talk to them every single day. If they don't want to talk back to me, that's totally their choice. I'm in their inbox and I'm talking to them. I'm messaging them. I'm sharing what's working. I'm asking where they're at. I'm asking what they need help with. I'm offering team calls. If they're not going to show up on their end, you guys, like, that's their freaking problem. I just need to know that I'm here and I'm reaching out to them and I'm touching base with them and sharing, giving good content to them. Making sure that I'm sharing value, not just like, what are you doing? Why are you not at Success Club? Or why are you not recruiting 20 people every month? Or why didn't you sell this yet? Like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm in there. I'm, creating value with my recruits. I'm trying to get them to do the exact same thing I'm doing. As far as my clients and whatnot, I want to turn my clients into recruits. I want to turn them into, like me, basically. I'm looking for another person like me, someone who is hardworking, driven, determined, motivated. I want to get that person and I want to turn them into and create them and make them, basically, like, mold them into somebody I would love to spend time with. And I love myself. Like, I'm cool. I love myself. So, like, just creating, your own virtual BFF, basically. So touching base with my clients every single day is important. Whether you have some sort of Facebook group or an app, or you have like an email list or whatever it is, you need to be touching base with them on a daily basis. Whether, you know, you send out like a weekly check-in, or you have like a daily place where you go and check in, whatever it is for you. But, you know, you have to show up in your business every day. And so you want them to know that you are doing that, because when you ask them to do that, like, they're going to be like, oh yeah, you did that to me. Like, yeah, I'm going to do the same thing for you. So that leads me to number 9, engaging and showing up. One thing that pisses me off is when people like send me a message and they're like, hey, have you ever heard of XYZ? Like, come join this, or here's an event group. Like, girl, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I don't even know who you are, first of all. I don't like any of your stuff. I don't comment on your stuff. Like, who the hell are you? If she would have went to my page and been like, girl, where'd you get your romper? Super cute. By the way, here's an event group I have. Awesome. Like, thanks for the compliment. I'll go check it out. You know, engage and show up on social media. Like, I hate when people ask you to do something they're not willing to do themselves. When I was a teacher, I did the exact same thing. When my kids took a test, took a quiz, did homework, I did the exact same thing. That's why I only gave 10 problems. That's why my quizzes and tests were a little bit shorter. You know, I told them that every single day. I said, here's the deal. I'm not going to give you something and expect you to do something I'm not willing to do myself. And so that's the same way that I work my business. And that is how you create an income producing business. You know, like, you do the things, you show up, and people see that, and then they want to do the exact same thing. And that moves my business forward. So engaging with people, talking to them, showing up on social media, you know, basically doing all these 10 things. Showing up in my groups that I have running, showing up in my, you know, recruit pods and stuff, and, you know, just being there, you know, just showing up is going to help produce that income in your business. It sounds like super simple, but it's definitely going to change your business. And the 10th thing that I think moves my business forward every single day is I respond and clear my inbox and my Gmail and all that stuff every single day before I go to bed, except for obviously the day I have off. The reason for that is, you know, I spent my entire day giving back to people. I spent my entire day inviting people, all that stuff. I didn't respond to anybody, but before I go to bed, before my head hits the pillow, you guys, like, I respond and I clear that inbox. My own recruits, my own working recruits know that if they need to get a hold of me, they know where to go, because I'm not going to check my entire inbox, my entire messages until the end of the day when I'm finished. And so those are the 10 things that I do in my business every single day that have basically created this income producing business. Those are the things that move my business forward. Posting on social media, you know, showing them the real and the raw, talking to them about the opportunity, inviting them to be a recruit, inviting them to do what I do, inviting them to, you know, join up with me, following up with them, filling up my funnel that I have, you know, talking to them on a daily basis, engaging, showing up, and then just making sure that I'm always present in my business every single day. So that is like my system that I have, that I do every single day. Obviously with whatever business you are doing, you have like little tasks here and there, you know, and, you know, like post this or message this many people or talk to this many people. Like, you have those specifics, but you need to have an idea of what 10 things really move your business forward. And here are some things that I realized that maybe don't necessarily move your business forward. And so I delegated these to my assistant, with the help of, you know, Josh kind of getting through that mentality part that it's okay that you're not the one sending the birthday messages or whatever it is. But the things that I have found that do not move my business forward, no matter how gorgeous they are, is my freaking graphics. Like, coaches are still going to sign up with me. I'm still going to get recruits. I'm still going to have the best freaking, you know, client group that I have working. If my graphics suck, it's okay. Like, so I delegate that to someone else. She does an incredible job. And guess what? Like, I still have an income producing business. Those do not move my business forward. Having a pretty graphic, having glitter, having the right color, those things are not going to move my business forward. So I delegate to someone else. Sitting on my phone for hours trying to find the right preset is not going to move my business forward. Fun and stick with it and post on social media. You know, I feel like so many times we worry about what to say, we worry about what to post, and then we don't ever freaking do anything. We wonder why our business isn't growing. You know, you got to pick with something, stick with it, and like get after it and make it actually happen. Scrolling on social media, I know you guys think it like helps move your business forward, but I promise you it does not produce any freaking income. Even if you're on it for hours on a day, like it does not move your business forward. I have recruits and clients and things that I say, you know, like, hey, what did you do today? Well, I scrolled on social media for 2 hours. My business is still in the same spot it was yesterday. Congratulations. It's not an income producing activity. So if you're like a frequent scroller and you love to do that, like put that at the end of your list of things to do. Like maybe that's what you do to, I don't know, like give back to yourself or something. Comparing yourself to others. Guess what? This is not an income producing activity. This is something coaches spend so many times in recruits and everything, you know, looking at somebody else. Why don't I have that? Why can't I have this? Checking to see what they're doing. And then you become that person and people are confused and they don't want to come with you because they don't really know who you are. That is not an income producing activity. Stop doing it. Don't delegate it to anybody else. Just keep your head down and those blinders on. I talk about this to my recruits all of the time. I don't watch anybody's Instagram stories. I don't do it. If I do, I like literally tell myself, get off of your phone and go do something that is going to produce income in your business. Because here's the thing, when you're on other people's stories, you're comparing yourself. You're trying to do what they're doing and you're not being authentic. It's okay to get ideas, I guess, but you're going to end up in this like rabbit hole, like chasing it and just watching it for hours on end. And then you're going to end up being like, oh, I wish I was that girl. Like, well, now I have to post and I feel like shit and I don't know what to talk about. So like, just stay off of other people's stories. That's why when people watch my Instagram stories, I'm sharing my life with them and they're checking it. And guess what? I appreciate the shit out of those people because I don't look at anyone else's stories and they're watching me. They're watching me produce income. They're watching me have this business. You know, they're interested in what it is that I'm doing. And I actually truly 110% appreciate them because of the fact that I don't check other people's stories. So the fact that they're looking at mine, like that's awesome. But please know that you watching other people's stories does not create income in your business. This is something that I kind of struggled with a little bit. Listening to other videos and trainings actually is not an income producing activity unless you do like an action afterwards. Okay, so I used to spend all of my time watching all of these videos and all of this training. I had all of this information and I was like, why is my business not growing? Like, I was literally going to Josh like, what the hell? Like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I have the best training. I have the best blah, blah, blah. Like, why aren't things working? I wasn't doing anything with it. So if you're going to set aside time to like listen and actually watch other training, you have to have an action plan. Action is what produces income. Okay, action. Sending like random messages like birthday messages or, you know, just simple copy paste things, delegate those to other people. Just because Susie is pushing send and not me, that doesn't mean people know that. You know, like delegate those things that don't produce that actual income. If it doesn't have your voice, it doesn't have your personal touch, send it to somebody else and have them do it. And this actually is something I struggle with as well. Worrying about your recruits, worrying about your team, and if they're actually doing their shit doesn't increase your income. I thought that like if I was on my coaches and like basically managing them, that I would have more of an income. When I started doing my own shit and worrying about my own life and showing up every single day and doing those 10 things I just went through with you, that's when my income started to change because my coaches saw me and my recruits saw me recruiting, getting clients, having success, creating an income, paying off debt. They saw those things and they're like, well, I know what she does every day. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And then they just wanted it bad enough that they started to do it. I was no longer managing. I was no longer like sitting on their shoulder, being a helicopter parent. So those are things that like are not income producing things that I have found that I promise you, you'll still create income even though you're not doing those things. So before I answer any questions or wrap this up, but I just have a few questions I want you to ask yourself. Since so many of you had reached out to me and just mentioned that you were struggling with setting up some sort of system, you know, so hopefully those 10 things I talked about really helped you kind of put in order what's important in your business, what's important to focus on. You have your own business tracker, you have your own idea of how many of what you need to do each day, but you need to have some sort of system when you sit down at your computer. And I'm actually going to share with you like my actual system. It's going to take like 2 seconds because I literally just fly through it. But here are a couple questions I have for you to just like ask yourself. How long do you have to work? When you sit down, how long do you have to work? Is it 10 minutes? Is it 15 minutes? Is it an hour? Is it 2 hours? Is it 5 hours? Whatever it is, you need to make sure you have an understanding of how long you're going to sit there and work. The thing that I've noticed the most is when I'm the most busiest, that's when my business is the best. Because I know I have 2 hours to get my shit done and I don't have any time to do anything else except to do those income producing activities. So if you're telling me you can't produce a 6-figure business in 2 hours a day, you're lying, because you can't. It's just what you're doing. You have to make sure you're doing income producing activities, the things I talked to you about. So make sure that when you sit your butt in the chair, you know how long you're going to be there. Don't say you're going to be there until you get it finished. Say you're going to be there for an hour. And then that's when you set that timer. That's when you have like that urgency, that focus of what you're actually doing. And then you bust out everything that you have to do. And you get way more stuff done. Second question, what do you want to get done today? Okay. I have so many coaches worried, so many recruits worried about hitting this number or, having this many people or whatever at the end of the month. Like, who cares? Today's July 3rd. What are you going to do today? So I have my recruits worrying about what they're doing today. What do you want to get done today? So setting a daily goal. Do you want to find one more recruit? Do you want to find 2 more clients? Do you want to, blow up your Instagram stories with XYZ? Whatever it is, you need to have some sort of like idea for just today. Okay. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Like, worry about what you're going to actually do today. So ask yourself that when you sit down. How much time do I have and what the hell do I want to actually get done? Third thing, are you working from a list? This changed my business. I have so many recruits who sit down at their computer and they have all these things they want to do. And in like 3 hours, they're still on their Facebook page trying to craft up a post because they have no idea what they need to do. They don't know what tasks they have to do. They don't know anything. And from the youngest age, you guys, like, you were trained to work from a list when you're at school. Your teachers have a list of what's happening that day. They have an agenda for a reason. They have times on there for a reason. You get like this planner when you're in middle school and you have no idea how to use it. And then like at the end of the year, you finally figure it out that it changes your business or it changes your life. It's the same thing with your business, you guys. Like, you need to know, okay, once I get this finished, I'm going to move to this task. Once I get this done, I'm going to move to this one. And guess what? There are things that you put on your list that are not super duper important that you can move to tomorrow. So when you're creating that list that I talked to you about, those 10 things that are going to move that business forward, you have the opportunity to say like, you know what, this really isn't that important. I can do it tomorrow. So just making sure you're working from a list. So whether it's Google Doc or a piece of paper or whatever it is, most of the time it's like a business tracker. I have one too. So it's just whatever works best for you. So those are my 3 questions that I always give my recruits and tell them to ask themselves. How long do you have to work? What are you going to get done? And are you working from a list? Okay. So that being said, my day looks like this. I come into my office, I shut the door, and I'm working my business. Okay, so I need to know how much time. Let's just say I have 2 hours to work my business. I sit down, I make sure I shut the door, I turn my phone, like the volume or whatever, I turn it off. I go right to Facebook. I go to all of my pictures and comments and whatever else from the day before. And I look for new people. I look for people to connect with. I look for an opportunity to invite for recruiting and invite to, like my client opportunity that I do have. I do the exact same thing on my Instagram. So once I'm done with Facebook, I go right to my Instagram pictures. 9 times out of 10, it's the same content, but it's different people. Okay. My people are normally like on Instagram. My friends and family are on my Facebook. So I go to Facebook, I go to Instagram. Check, check. Okay. So like I said before, my list of 10 things, if I'm not posting on social media, like I just shot myself in the foot. Okay. Next thing I do, I go to my Instagram stories. Okay, I'm going through, if I'm talking about a workout, I'm inviting to my boot camp that I have. If I'm talking about the opportunity, I'm inviting them to maybe check out a webinar I have, maybe checking out like a sneak peek I'm running, maybe checking out, the opportunity or my Instagram handle that I just created for coaching or whatever it is. So I'm using my stories as a place to give them the real and the raw, and then messaging them from there. So I just from my Facebook page, from my Instagram page, and now my Instagram stories. Okay. most of you are like, I have no idea who to talk to. Those are great places to start. Then sometimes I go to my followers and I make really good quality connections with them, probably like 20 a day. Just going to their page, maybe just seeing something that they're super cute. Maybe they have, I don't know, really good style or whatever it is, but making really good quality connections with them that have nothing to do with my business. It's just me connecting with them because I love talking to people. I don't like hanging out with them, but I love talking to them. So you can do the same thing on Facebook. Most of the time you already know the person. Most of the time on Facebook, they're people you already know. If they're not, awesome. Do the same thing on Facebook. So I literally go from one to the other. I bounce back and forth. Once I'm finished with that, I use something called Teamsy, and I just go through, and that's how I do my follow-ups. It tells me like who to follow up with. So let's say I invite 10 people today, and I tell myself to follow up with them in 2 days. In 2 days, I'm following up with those people. So I don't have to sit there and worry about who to talk to, what our conversation was, those kinds of things. So I'm inviting people and throwing them into this notebook on steroids. And that's where I follow up from. So I go through and invite like crazy. Then I go through and I follow up. Okay. Then I basically reward myself. And now I get to go add people. I get to go like and comment on their stuff. Like, hey girl, when'd you get your dress? Like all that stuff, just connecting with people. And then I make sure before I'm done with my actual business is I check in with my clients somehow, show up, give value, post something to them. Obviously I'm health and fitness. So, maybe it's like a motivational video, a quote, a recipe, whatever it is. And then I actually go into my recruiting page where my recruits are, where my people are, and I give them value for the day. I'm not going to give them a bunch of random crap to look at. I want them working their business. I'm going to give them something to give them value. Maybe it's this is how to get really good engagement on Facebook. Maybe don't post this on your Instagram. Maybe letting them know that Facebook and Instagram is down. Whatever it is, like just giving them value. And then honestly, it sounds so crazy, but I'm a math teacher, so I'm already crazy. My favorite thing, you guys, is to go to all of my inboxes and like go to like the unread messages and like clear the entire thing. Like that's my favorite thing to do because I know that tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm going to have notifications. I'm going to have income producing activities for me to do tomorrow. If I wake up and my inbox is like empty and I don't have like a red notification, I literally like wake up with anxiety, like crap, I didn't do anything yesterday. I have to work harder today. That's kind of how I check that. So that's what I do every single day when I'm working my business. I sit down, I ask myself how much time, what do I want to get done today? I'm working from a list. I go from one social media platform to the other. I bounce back and forth. I send my invites and stuff to people. I follow up with my people. I creep on people. Creeping. I check into the people who have already invested into me, and then I clear my inbox, and then I'm done. And I literally walk out of my office, and guess what? I don't work my freaking business. I go and enjoy my life. Don't let it consume you. Whatever business you work for, guess what? You're still your own person. Okay, you're still, Megan Geese. Like I walk out of my office and then I go hang out with my dogs and my phone sits in my office. Like I don't even care whether I'm running my Instagram stories. Like I understand that part, but make sure that you understand being on your phone all day long is not an income producing activity. Okay, sitting down, urgency, focus, that's income producing activity. Okay. All right. I know I talked forever, but I feel so bad. Facebook like crapped on me. I tried doing like 8 live videos, so that's super awesome. I did record this though, so Josh, I will post this on your page so people can have it. I feel awful. I literally tried doing like 6 videos from my computer, from my phone, all that stuff. Oh, real quick question. What do you do when you're going to be gone out of service for a few days and can't show up? If you have an assistant, I would just send her some posts, send her some wording ahead of time, craft that up and send that out to her and have her post that. Give her, whether it's your little sister or whoever it is, like if you don't have an assistant, you should have one. But I honestly, like that's what I would do. We went to the Bahamas and I didn't have service for, from whatever day to whatever day when we were traveling. And so I sent my assistant pictures and wording and told her what time to put it up and had her post it on social media. You can do the same thing with your Instagram stories. She can log in under your Instagram, and if you just send her the photos, she can upload those. You can make videos on your phone, send those, upload those. There's always ways around that part of it. You just have to plan ahead of time a little bit for sure. Yeah, so hopefully I think that answers your question. Working your business though, like sometimes you have to understand
you need to have a system set up so your business is still working, even though you're not actually working. So when we went on like a cruise for 5 days, I wasn't sitting on my phone working my business like I normally do. I was doing like short income producing activities, making sure I was on social media, and inviting whenever I could. You know, if you're going to be gone, tell your assistant, I'm going to be gone for 5 days. Can you please, you know, go through, do X, Y, Z, you know, have that relationship with her. And just make sure you're showing up on social media if you do anything, because you can always go back and invite those people. You can always go back and touch base. So yeah, that's a really good question. Okay. All right. Any other questions, guys? I just worked out and had energized, so I'm like, I was like ready to go. Okay.
You're definitely the opposite of me today. I'm in like
Josh,
moving mode, so I'm like super chill, letting you just run the show.
There we
You
go.
can't hear me?
There, I got you now.
Oh, do you have the volume down?
Yeah, I don't know. You can hear me.
I said I'm like literally the opposite of you today. You're on energized. I've been like moving for the last 3 days. It's like the most chill Josh you will ever. I was like in my head trying to think of something that I could like say when you're done. I'm like, I didn't have anything. It's just, let's let her do her thing today. I got nothing today.
No, it's fine. I mic drop already, so you're good.
You did awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? It's on.
Rachel, where did you find your assistant? Actually, I was at Josh's event 2 years ago, I think. Angela, what's her last name?
McMullen.
McMullen.
Is that right?
Yeah. I messaged her, and she asks you what you want, how much you want to pay, all of that stuff, and she gives you, I think it was like 3 people, and you get to do like an interviews part. You get to talk to them, and then you just kind of pick the best one. And if it doesn't work out, she actually does a very good job at finding somebody. And so I found somebody. I started at a certain number and a certain price and stuff. And then now obviously she does way more than she did before. But you know, just kind of having a really good relationship with them was definitely a game changer for me. And just understanding, and I think Josh had to like pound this in my head, it's okay to delegate stuff. I'm like that person that's like, can I get some freaking help? Never mind, I'll just do it myself. Like, I'm that kind of person. So definitely having her. And I think she has like a Facebook page. I can share that too underneath the video or something for you. Yeah. She does have a Facebook page though. And the girl I've had her for 2 years now, and she literally could probably run my business if she wanted to, which is phenomenal. Yeah. Like, and she just knows me and stuff. So definitely. That's a really good question too. All right. Okay. If you guys have any other questions, I will, Josh, do you want me to upload this like to YouTube and then post it in here, or what do you just post it?
I just always take the Zoom link that they send you, and I just throw that in there.
Awesome.
Because YouTube for these length of calls takes like 7 hours to upload. It's so annoying. So I just put them straight into the group.
Sounds good. I will put Angela's info, and then I have like just a little tracker thing that I use for my business. I'll put that in there so they can see that. And then what was the other thing I was going to put in there? Oh yeah, just the assistant thing. Okay. Awesome. So I will put this up for those people who hopped